Time for focus, and today we're heading to Ethiopia. In recent months, the East African nation has seen the worst unrest in a decade, with reports of some 200 people killed. Amid a booming economy, members of the Oromo ethnic group, which makes up a third of the population, have taken to the streets calling for equal rights. They've long complained of discrimination by the government. Simona Foltien reports.
Everywhere you turn, construction dominates the skyline of Addis Ababa. The booming capital is a sign of Ethiopia's double-digit growth. But many members of Ethiopia's Oromo ethnic group feel they aren't benefiting enough from the country's development. They see the expansion of the city into surrounding Oromia region as a threat to their existence. 3 years ago, this family was forced to sell most of their land to the government to give way to the sprawling capital.
We want the government not to take away our property. The money that we get in return for the land they take does not benefit us. Our life depends on this land, and it is the cultivation of the land that we benefit from.
Wagi was paid only around 2,000 euros as compensation for the land. He only has 2 hectares left, too little to sustain his family.
Because we don't have much land left, some of my children are just working as daily laborers. But the money they make is not enough, and we are struggling to get by.
In January, the government announced it would halt the master plan that governs Addis Ababa's expansion into Oromia. But the family still fears they might lose their remaining land.
The government has all the power. They can confiscate our land anytime. We can't do anything about it.
Land is only one of many concerns of the Oromo people. Many also blame the Amhara and Tigray-dominated government for curtailing their rights. For one, the ruling party hasn't recognized Afan Oromo as a federal language alongside Amharic, even though it's the country's most widely spoken.
Our children are being forced to attend school in Amharic. The students asked to learn in Afan Oromo, their own language, but were told they must attend school in Amharic. When they start protesting, the government just kills them.
It is these deeply rooted feelings of marginalization that sparked Ethiopia's largest unrest in a decade. Protests started last November and continue to date. The government's response has been harsh. Activists say that over 200 people, in addition to a dozen police officers, may have died so far. We leave Addis Ababa and head to Ginchi, a small town 80 kilometers west of the capital. It is here where unrests first erupted. We meet the family of one of the victims killed in the protests, 22-year-old Aschale Worku. His family says he was shot dead by military on the 12th of December last year.
The day my son was shot, it was in the afternoon. The military came and began to disperse protesters. There were a lot of soldiers and they opened fire on the crowd. When my son was shot, his friends tried to take him to the hospital, but the military wouldn't let them.
Aschale had joined the protests to object the government's decision to allocate public land in a nearby forest to an investor. His father takes us to see the spot where the forest was cleared a few months ago, just before the protests began.
All this forest you see here was sold and cleared by an investor, but they deceived us. The community got very little money in return for this investment. God knows where the rest went.
The Oromia regional government declined repeated requests for an interview, but the Federal Minister of Information acknowledges mistakes have been made.
People had legitimate grievances accumulated over years. They had every confidence in the government's ability and capacity and readiness to address those issues.
The minister also promises investigations into the heavy use of force by authorities.
We are taking action because we owe it to our people. Already the regional government has been reaching out to people who have lost their loved ones as a result and making amends.
But many Oromo are unhappy with the government's response so far. Seifu Tura was allegedly shot dead by security forces in December. His family says no government official has come here to investigate the matter. Instead, they accuse authorities of intimidation.
The government has not yet stopped killing or harassing the people. Everywhere you go now, you find a dead body. There's no peace at all. They are still looking for people to take them to prison, or if they like, they just kill them.
The heavy-handed approach by security forces has further fueled anger among the Oromo. Many are now speaking out in a country where public dissent is rare and are determined to continue until their demands are met.